We are almost to the end of chapter 1 in WandaVision, and things are going to come to a head in the season finale. But let's talk about episode 8. The episode starts off with a throwback to Salem, Massachusetts, and we get a peek into Agatha Harkness being tried amongst a witches' council for overstepping with her powers. But she is more powerful than all the witches within the coven thought, and in an effort to survive, she has to kill them all, including her mother, absolving their powers. We also learned that Agatha was called to Westview because of the huge amount of magic powers used to create it. It was nothing like she had ever experienced and was something that she had been searching for and to do for centuries. Agatha takes Wanda on a trip down memory lane in the hopes of unearthing how and why she created Westview. And we learn where Wanda pulled the sitcom references from for the whole Westview world. It dates back to her first childhood memories when she used to watch TV with her family right before her family home was bombed and everything changed. She remembered the moments right before being so happy and so loved. In that moment, there's a bomb that lands right in front of Wanda and Pietro, and they are pinned down and stuck. And Agatha reveals that in that moment, Wanda was just a young witch, which is why they weren't destroyed by that bomb, and it never really went off. Wanda thought it was just a defective bomb, but in all actuality, Wanda's magic stopped it from never going off. Even when Wanda was in the weird terrorist cell group that was doing experimentations on her, she always had a television to help ground her and show her the images of a normal family, hope, and happiness. During one of the experiments, she comes into contact with the Mind Stone and some sort of vision, which starts to clue us in on what her interest in evolved love is for. Vision that we see in present day, who is basically just the personification of Jarvis with the power of the Mind Stone. And then we get to the meat and potatoes of what started this all. Wanda does show up at S.W.O.R.D. She started out asking nicely, so they really can't be mad. And it's Director Hayward's mistake, but seemingly his plan, to plant the idea in Wanda's head that she's the only one powerful enough to bring Vision back online. Before he said that, she didn't even have a thought about it. We see her leave without Vision's body as she comes to grips with him being decommissioned, which is a complete contradiction of what we saw earlier in the season when they said that she broke in and stole his body. And we finally get the big reveal that Wanda is the Scarlet Witch, using her chaos magic to manifest her happily ever after, when she could be using her powers to bend the universe to her will. The best part of the episode for me was the post-credit scene when we actually get to see Director Hayward still has Vision's body. Wanda never actually took him, which explains why that part of the playback was missing as they were going through the "how did you get here" moment with Agatha. Wanda created her own version of Vision from her powers within Westview after she created Westview. Now I know they really need to leave Sis and her fantasy alone. Hayward has figured out how to harness the power of the Hex to bring Vision's body back online, and I would expect that we're heading into a serious fight in next week's finale. In next week's episode, we will most likely see two Visions fighting each other, one for the Hex, one for Westview, and one against it under Director Hayward's control. It's looking like Director Hayward is the big bad, y'all. He is the actual villain, but I'm still lost in reference to what does he want? How are you the villain, but you're leading S.W.O.R.D? Is this some type of Hydra reference? And like, did he infiltrate and now is going to hatch some other crazy scheme, which would make sense because that will set us up for season 2. But all roads are pointing right now to Director Hayward and his villainous plan. Next week's episode, the finale, will be interesting. But now I want to know what you think. Tell me how you feel and what you loved about this week's episode. What do you think will happen in the finale? I want to hear it all down in the comment section below. If you missed my review of last week's episode, you can watch it here, or you can catch up on all of my WandaVision episodes in my WandaVision playlist by clicking here. I'm your host, Erica Vane. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Bye.